What is basketball? It is a game played by two teams of usually 5 players, each on rectangular court, having a raised basket or goal at each end. Points being scored by tossing the ball through the opponent's basket. Now, let's talk about the original 13 rules of basketball by James Naismith. The following list shows the original 13 rules of basketball as defined by Naismith in 1892. Modern rules are added so you can see how the game has changed over time and how it's remained the same. Rule number 1. The ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands. This rule still applies, with the exception that now a team is not allowed to pass the ball back over the midcourt line once they have taken it over that line. Rule number 2. The ball may be batted in any direction with one or both hands, never with the fists. This rule still applies. Rule number 3. A player cannot run with the ball. The player must throw it from the spot on which he catches it. Allowance to be made for a man who catches the ball running at a good speed if he tries to stop. Current rule: players can dribble the ball with one hand as they run or pass, but they cannot run with the ball when catching a pass. Rule number 4. The ball must be held in or between the hands. The arms or body must not be used for holding it. This rule still applies. Doing so would be a traveling violation. Rule number 5. No shouldering, holding, pushing, tripping, or striking in any way the person of an opponent shall be allowed. The first infringement of this rule by any player shall count as a foul. The second shall disqualify him until the next goal is made, or if there was evident intent to injure the person for the whole of the game, no substitute allowed. These actions are foul. A player may be disqualified with 5 or 6 fouls or get an ejection or suspension with a flagrant foul. Rule number 6. A foul is striking at the ball with the fists. Violations of Rule 3, 4, and such as described in Rule 5. This rule still applies. Rule number 7. If either side makes 3 consecutive fouls, it shall count as a goal for the opponents. Consecutive means without the opponents in the meantime making a foul. Instead of an automatic goal, sufficient team fouls, 5 in a quarter for NBA play, now award bonus free throw attempts to the opposing team. Rule number 8. A goal shall be made when the ball is thrown or batted from the grounds into the basket and stays there, providing those defending the goal do not touch or disturb the goal. If the ball rests on the edges and the opponent moves the basket, it shall count as a goal. This rule is no longer applies as basketball is now played with a hoop and net, not the original basket. It has evolved into goaltending and defense pass interference rules, including that defenders cannot touch the rim of the hoop once the ball has been shot. Rule number 9. When the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown into the field of play by the person first touching it. In case of dispute, the umpire shall throw it straight into the field. The thrower in is allowed 5 seconds. If he holds it longer, it shall go to the opponent. If any side persists in delaying the game, the umpire shall call a foul on that side. Current rule: the ball is now thrown in by a player from the opposite team of the player who last touched it before it went out of bounds. The 5-second rule still applies. Rule number 10. The umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. He shall have the power to disqualify men according to Rule 5. Current rule: in NBA basketball, there are 3 referees. Rule number 11. The referee shall be the judge of the ball and shall decide when the ball is in play, in bounds, to which side it belongs, and shall keep the time. He shall decide when a goal has been made and keep account of the goals with any other duties that are usually performed by a referee. Current rule: the referee still determines ball possession, but timekeepers and scorekeepers now do some of these tasks. Rule number 12. The time shall be 2 15-minute halves with 5 minutes rest between. Current rule: this varies by the level of play, such as high school versus collegiate formats. In the NBA, there are 4 quarters, each 12-minute long, with a 15-minute halftime break. Rule number 13. The side making the most goal in that time shall be declared the winner. In the case of a draw, the game may, by agreement of the captains, be continued until another goal is made. The winner is now decided by points, which does not equate goals made. In NBA, 5-minute overtime periods are played in case of a tie at the end of the 4th quarter, with the point total at the end determining the winner. If still tied, teams play another overtime period.